Start the show. The Good Life with DT and Spicoli. Welcome to the Good Life.
You are now listening to the Good Life Podcast.
Good Life. Good Life. These boys are crazy.
You are now listening to the Good Life Podcast.
Good Life. What? A Good Life.
Welcome to the Good Life Podcast. My name is David Taylor. I would like to introduce everybody to this new podcast. It is called the Good Life Podcast, and I have a very, very cool co-host with me on this show, Mr. Jason Spicoli. How you doing, man?
Amazing. Did you just call me a co-host? Is this official? Are we doing a thing together?
We are, man.
Yeah.
We are. And I think we're going to bring the rock back a little bit here. What do you think, man?
I'm so excited, man. You know, I have a history with rock. It's in my bones. I can feel it.
Dude. It is, man. I'm stoked that you said that you were down to do this, man. Not going to lie.
Thank you for asking me, dude. It was one of those things when you asked me, and we were talking about some of the guests that we would like to have on, and we have the same music taste, I feel like. And
yeah, let's dig into that, man. I think that's people need to kind of figure out. I mean, people are going to know who you are. I mean, let's be realistic. I mean, people know who the Spicoli is. They've been listening to you for how long?
You know, I've been on the radio 20 plus years. I started my career at 89.7 The River and hosted Spicoli's Morning Fiasco for 18 plus years. And then
18, dude, man.
Yeah, I know. And then about 2 years ago, I switched over to the radio station that got me inspired to do radio, which was Sweet 98.5.
Dude, and congratulations on that.
Thank you.
That's huge, man.
Yeah. I mean, to be able to grow up and listen to that radio station and get inspired by this dude named Rocket in the Morning, and he made me feel like, oh, I can do this for a living. He would play music, crack jokes, tell stories, connect with his fans, and that was everything that I wanted. You know, everything that I wanted was what he was doing, and I just had to figure out a path to get there, and school was the right path for me. I went to Central High School. I went on to the tech building where they offered radio programs, like radio and TV. So believe it or not, I was on TV, too, for a hot minute.
That's crazy.
My show was called Today's Teens, Tomorrow's Leaders. I was the host of it, man.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, with this girl named Kaylee George, who's also a singer in Omaha. So, what a moment. So I learned how to do it there, and then I went to UNO for a couple semesters, and that just wasn't a right fit. And so my buddy Neil Duffy was like, yo, you got to check out Iowa Western. They are the real deal. They have a radio program that I think you're really going to be excited about because you learn the ins and outs, the behind the scenes, how to set everything up properly and do it the right way. And I was so excited. So I took a little time away from school and then saved up money. And I've never saved money like that before. Everything I ever earned, like I worked at American Eagle, I worked at a camp, I worked for my dad and doing the labor, the grunt work. And
I remember talking to you back in the day, and you were just always just so busy. I remember like going to like Rockfest or River Riot or anything, and I'm like, hey, dude, come pop out and say what's up. And you're like, hey, man, I'm backstage working on promos right now or something. You were always doing something. And I was like, what? You don't get a break? You're like, no, dude.
No, there's no breaks.
You're always doing it.
Yeah, there's always something to do. You got to make yourself useful. My dad would always tell me that. You got to make yourself useful, and you got to apply what you can. And I ended up going to Iowa Western, saved up enough money to go there, went in the radio program. And a lot of people always ask me, well, how is it you? How are you the chosen one? How are you the golden boy? What happened? And, it came down to me and this other dude.
I want to hear this answer, dude. Yeah, that's a good question.
I
should have asked you that. That would have been a perfect first question for me to ask you. Asking yourself it. Go ahead.
It came down to me and this other dude because the afternoons came open and they said, hey, we want to hire somebody in-house going through the radio program. And they said, it's up to you and this other. It's you and this other dude. It came down to us two, and they gave us like an hour of power on from like 5 to 6 where you just really shine. And that's during Road Rage on the river. And I nailed it. You know, it was a lot of fun. I brought in Anchando to help me out. The local band Anchando, Hector,
dude,
and the boys.
I used to love Anchando. Did you go in the Ranch Bowl and seeing them, dude? Oh my gosh, I miss those days, man.
Right. And so after
Hector, right?
Hector, lead singer.
Dude.
After
So
I did
good.
that, I sent a thank you note. I said, thank you so much for the opportunity to be able to do this, which we learned going to class. And they said, that was the difference. You're hired. Me and the other dude had the same amount of talent. And just because I sent a thank you note was all the difference. And so I never forgot that lesson.
Do you feel like what you accomplished at the river led you to where you are now on Sweet 98.5?
It did. It did.
Yeah.
Man, I was so grateful to be a part of 89.7 The River for all those years, going to concerts, meeting people, announcing bands on stage, introducing listeners to their favorite artists. So many wild stories out of the river and so many great people that I met and a lot of talented people that I worked with. And it was such a pleasure. And that the river always holds like a special place in my heart because that's who gave me my first opportunity in radio.
Absolutely, dude. Yeah. I mean, if you, and it's not like, you're a super humble dude, man, which is awesome. And that's why it's very, sometimes people like last night, I guess let's get into last night for a little bit and tell people kind of what happened. So we did a live podcast with you as a guest and you came out on the show as a guest and we just posted all over Facebook that I had this huge announcement and we didn't have any hints or anything about it. There was no like, hey, this could be happening. Like nobody had any idea that was happening last night. So we do the live podcast with you as a guest. And at the end, we stop recording. And pretty much I say, the guest list coming up is going to be huge. I'm going to let my new co-host tell you about it. I hand you the microphone and everybody kind of figures it out in the crowd, man. And it was cool because there was a lot of gasps and stuff out there.
Yeah, you could hear the
gasps.
gasp.
I wanted, man.
That's a surprise, and a lot of people were not expecting that. And thanks to everybody who came out last night. We got to meet a lot of people, and Sozo
fun, man.
was a great place, good vibe, and man, that was a lot of fun, wasn't it? And just to see the look on their faces, so surprised, was not expecting that. And some of the bands that are going to be coming on the Good Life podcast, they were hyped for. And we might drop that a little bit later on.
Yeah,
we might drop that.
It.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, man. So for obviously a huge shout out to your family because your wife is very supportive of you, and she just had a huge announcement too. I mean, let's plug that real quick, man. I mean, that's super awesome what she's doing.
Yeah, last week she announced that she is opening up her own hair studio, and I am so happy for her because she put blood, sweat, and tears into Supercuts for 17 years. Man, she was loyal. She works 10 to 7 nonstop all over the weekends. She built a large client base, and she was always there for her clients, whether it was they needed a haircut before a wedding, or they needed their hair did, or they needed something. I mean, there was always something. She sacrificed a lot. She missed a lot of events because she was just so loyal to her clients, but she worked really hard, and to be able to get to this moment, like this was a long time. We had been talking about this and saving up a bunch of money since November to make this happen. So for her to finally open it up, 108th and Dodge, Old Mill Road, we are so happy for her, and she's decorating it how she wants. She's picking her own hours, and everything is like online. You can just schedule there. It's great, man. I'm so happy for her. She gets to work
for herself, dude. It's awesome. Mm-hmm. I guess real quick, where can people find that? Because she's filling up, man, quick on appointments. Where can people go book if they want to go try out Emily's hairstyles there, man?
Yeah, you can just go to her Facebook page. There's a button that says book now. It just says Emily's Hair Studio.
There you go. That's our plug for the evening.
And I always say,
man, seriously, look, she's awesome dude, seriously. I mean, you do this, you do 2 other radio shows, you have 2 kids. I mean, you're a busy guy, man, and letting her being cool with this is super cool, man.
Yeah, for her to say, let's do it, give me the green light, because first it starts with the wife, like, hey, do you think I could do something like this? Do you think we could, make this happen in our schedule? And to be able to do this from home is super cool. David's setting up all the equipment here at my house, coming over early, taking care of business, getting it set up, man. This is nice. These microphones, nice quality,
dude. They're so nice, man. What'd you say?
I said nice quality.
I thought you said nice wallet. I was like, thanks, man.
That too. Yeah, it takes a big wallet to get these kind of microphones.
It does. I will say that's one thing we're both super blessed about, man, is both of our wives, man. And that's something I meant to touch on last night and we didn't, man, is if my marriage, dude, it's a lot like, if you've seen that movie, The Greatest Showman.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it.
I've heard of
it.
But
that's like my family's favorite movie, dude.
Oh, it is? Okay. That's a musical, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm not, I don't know how I feel about musicals.
See, I don't like them either, dude. I hate them. But it's good, man. It's about a dude that was like super poor, and like his wife is just like, I'm taking all the risks with you as long as I know about him. And that's how my wife is, dude. So this whole podcast thing, that's why you've asked me probably 10 times, like, does your wife go crazy with you always talking about the podcast? And I'm like, no, dude, she's like all on board with it. So it's so much fun.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I've been in radio for 20 years, and so I'm always just geeking out on radio and ideas I have, and sometimes I can't sleep because I'm just writing down ideas so fast, and Emily's like, go to sleep, and I'm like, I can't, my mind is racing, I want to try this tomorrow on the radio, and for the past couple of weeks, setting this up, I'm like, I can't wait to try this on the podcast, I can't wait to book this guest.
This has been by far the hardest secret I've ever had to keep, because it's probably been a month now, I bet, since we've actually started talking about it.
Right. How did you know that I wanted to do the podcast? What were some of the texts that you saw from me that were like,
it was probably 7 hours worth of text on a Sunday. And I told you, I'm not kidding you, I told my wife, because you text me like out of nowhere and said something at like 9 in the morning, and then I think it was probably 4 or 5 in the afternoon, and we were out eating, and we were still texting. Yeah. And I told my wife, I was like, he's up to something. And she goes, what do you mean? And I was like, he's asking very specific questions. Like, these are not just broad, hey, man, how do you like the podcast? It was like, what's your plans to promote? What's your plans to do this? What kind of gear do you use? How do you set it up? And I'm just like, either he wants to start a podcast or me and him are starting something. I was like, I'm just going to ask him.
Yeah, I had a vision about this like 2 years ago when I joined Sweet 98.5. I was like, man, I love radio so much, and there's multiple things I can do, and new opportunities are coming my way, and there's so many people that I want to talk to. And I started thinking about, can I do a podcast? Is this possible? How do you even set up a podcast? How do you do this? And then
it was like months and months of research, because like I told you, man, like when I was like, I'm going to start this thing, we're doing it right. So like I went out and looked at like the top podcasters. What gear are they using? How are they promoting it? How do you kick this thing off? And to start, it was just me, obviously, and then I figured it all out, and it started rolling really good. And then I started looking at one of the biggest things was like on plays and downloads. Like what's a good amount of downloads for a podcast? And if you get, I think it's like 1,000 downloads in your first 30 days. You're in the top 10% of all podcasts. And there's like 5 million podcasts.
Noted. We got to get 1,000 downloads. So please tell your friends, text your friends, spread the word.
If you get 2,500 downloads or something like that in the first, you're in the top or 5,000, you're in the top 1%. So people, put us up there with the Rogans, man. Put us up there with the big dogs. We got some cool people coming up.
Yeah, we're going to get pretty guest heavy here in the next month. There's a lot of cool people that we both find really interesting, and they have done cool things for rock and roll and beyond. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to join this podcast, because like I said, you and I have similar tastes in music, and all these bands that I'm texting you, you're like, yo.
And that's the thing. I guess people are probably like, Spicoli, who is this dude and why are you doing it with him? I have this weird ability to retain rock knowledge, and it just sticks, dude. And it's like, that was like my thing back in the day. I wanted to know where bands were from, and I wanted to know who the members were. I wanted to know that stuff, and it all stuck. So like whenever you're saying people who, I guess we'll get into it after this, who you're bringing on, I'm just like, no way. And you're like, you know who this person is? I'm like, yeah, I know who that person is.
And that's what I love about you, man, because you do have that random knowledge. You do know pretty much every single band that I have sent. Yo, you know this person? You heard of this band? Oh, I know. And then you'll tell me something. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. All right, cool.
We're going to be getting on with people that you've interviewed like a million times, and you're just going to be like, well, David's going off on a tangent. We got to calm him down. He's just asking random stuff.
Yeah, don't be weird when the rock stars come on. No. Don't be weird. Don't weird them out where you scare them away. We want them to come back for years to come, because this is something that I see longevity with. This is something that I want to do for years and years and years. Just knowing you for all these years, and we go back to like the comedy days when you and I used to do comedy on.
Do people know that about you until I tell them? I wonder how many people actually know that you actually did stand up, man.
I don't know. Do people know that about me? Because we did a couple shows together, and the one thing about you, though, you'd be like, oh, yeah, I got this venue. We're going to go there, spread the word. And then I'd show up to the venue, and on the marquee, it would be huge David Taylor. And then in small print, it would be spaghetti.
Do you know what I remember about that the most? Was your mom and dad out there with us. They came to, like, your dad came to every show you did, dude. That was so cool, man.
Yeah, my mom and dad, super supportive. They know, like, they need to support.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, and
I got put through the ringer for that one.
Yeah, I definitely said some things that I'm not proud of. Sometimes when you get in the zone and you're telling jokes, you're having a good time, but, remember that joke that I told about my dad? How I had that
which
hailstorm and there was trees that fell down on my house.
Oh yeah,
there was three trees, and my dad showed up like he was He-Man by the power of. I don't remember the name of the chainsaw though. What was the name of the chainsaw?
I was gonna say, dude. All I remember two things about your comedy. There was something about the chainsaw, and then you, instead of cussing, you would censor yourself on stage.
Right.
And that was like your funniest thing you did.
Yeah,
and
I would do
people
that.
Were just like, he's not on the radio, he can say it. And I was like, nah, that's not how life works, man. Nope. Like, people are recording this with phones. Like, it's the same thing to him.
Yeah, it is.
It's wild, man.
What was that punchline? That's going to bother me. It was like, by the power of Craftsman or something. Like
I think it was something like
something
that.
Dude, whatever the brand of the tool was that my dad used all the time. And he saw that, and I made my dad laugh. And that was a good moment for me, because for those who don't know, my dad, he passed away in 2012. He was helping this lady at church, and he was fixing her gutter, and he slipped off the ladder and he fell backwards and hit his head.
It's such a tragedy, man.
It's such a it was super tragic. And getting that phone call, going to the hospital, seeing my dad all up in tubes. And when you have a dad, when you have a dad that's very supportive of you and in your life, you think he's invincible, right? And I'm like, oh, it's just my dad. He's in tubes. He'll be able to bounce back. And that wasn't the case. And we had to pull him off life support because what we saw that was not my dad. That's not how I, choose to remember my dad. I remembered my dad through like the great memories that we had, and whenever his birthday's coming up on August 23rd. So I like to do things to celebrate him. Like I'll go to Menards, just roam around.
Really?
Like Menards was a spot.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, we'll go to Menards. I'll drink a Mountain Dew. Go eat at Donna Millie's.
was that his spot? Donna
Yeah,
Millie's?
that was a spot.
That's a smart man. Smart man, dude. Donna Millie's is the place to be. No, he was, man. He was. I'll never forget that about him, man. Is he was, for him to come out to the shows, man, and I mean, I think we did 3 together, 3 or 4, I can't remember, but he was out every single one, man, and your mom, man. So
supportive parents, man.
That's to the pops, man, for sure.
Yeah, that's something that I strive to be, a very supportive parent to my 2 boys, and I know you as well. And we're both dads, dude. We're both married with kids, and
it's crazy.
Kids can be crazy, and people look at us, they're like, "Man, you have kids?"
Right?
Yeah, we got kids.
People said, "Did someone say that to me last? Was that you or somebody else?" I can't believe you have kids. And I was like, "That sounds like an insult."
Right? How do you know?
To mean?
How do you know?
What are you talking about?
How do you know I'm not a good dad?
Yeah, what are you talking about, you jerk?
Right? Big dummy.
Let's dive into some fun stuff, man. So we've been working on a guest list for probably 2 or 3 weeks now. Thank you to NRG Media for allowing you to do this. Probably people don't realize that that's a huge part of radio, man, is you have to get permission to do stuff like this. It's not like you can just do whatever you want.
No. Yeah, we got to make sure we do it right, because I love Sweet 98.5 and 101.9 The Keg, and they're owned by NRG Media. And I was telling them that I was very interested in doing this podcast with you, because at first it was just like, an interview on my career in radio. And then we started talking more, and then it became more of like, is this going to be a permanent thing? Like we both have similar taste in music. We both like to tell jokes.
Yeah.
We both are dads, and we're married, and we have kids. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like we're vibing. And this was something that I felt really excited about, and I wanted to get permission and go through the proper channels and talk to my bosses. And yeah, they're excited. They want to hear it.
I'm so happy, man. I remember I was out of town. We were in Indiana, and I think it was like a 2-week thing where we were like, we're probably going to hear an answer this week. So every day, like every time you text me, I'd look down and go, oh, like, not yet. And then I was out in the middle of nowhere in Indiana when you finally texted me, and like, you ready to level up? I think that's what you said. And my wife was next to me, and I couldn't even talk, dude. I was like speechless. I was so excited. And she's like, did he say you do it? And I was like, yeah, we're doing it. She was like, oh, so we were freaking out, man. And yeah, man. But so at that time, we had already talked about some guest lists. We'll go back to this now. We're kind of getting off that subject, but I'm going to let you, man, because a lot of these people are people you knew, and you're bringing them on.
Yeah,
so
it's
let's let you make some of these announcements.
And again, these are bands that we both like, that we adore, that we enjoy listening to their music, we support. And one thing about this podcast, you're going to learn a lot about music. You're going to learn about these artists and support them. And when they come to Omaha, to see them live, that's where it's at. So you'll get to know them on the podcast, and then when they come to town or you check out their music, you're just going to feel more connected to the artist.
Can I ask you one more thing? People that will listen to this are going to go nuts because I keep stopping you before you announce
like,
them.
say the bands.
How excited are you, man, that you get to like interview them like uncut and let them just talk?
I love it so much.
It's like the first time you've ever gotten to do it.
Yeah. Everything for the past 20 years has been like radio. And radio, you always got to do it for time. You have a certain amount of time that you can do. So you kind of got to get to the meat right away. And that's okay. And, we still have fun. We get the best parts on the radio. And and so to be able to talk in a little bit longer is exciting. And I think these guests... All right, you ready? You want to hear some of the guests coming on the Good Life podcast with DT and Spicoli? My man out of Vegas, Adrian Patrick of Otherwise. They have so many good songs. If you're going to the gym and you need something to pump you up and get that rage out, Otherwise is the band.
Dude, that song Soldiers, man, is like huge.
Yeah, that song.
I mean, that thing is just ginormous.
Yeah, I could.
As soon as you said Otherwise, I was just like, no way, dude, you already got him?
Yeah, we got Adrian Patrick. He's coming on the Good Life podcast with DT and Spicoli. We got, how about Shim, formerly of Sick Puppies?
I got to be honest, I'm very excited to talk to Shim.
I have known Shim for so many years, and when I think of an entertainer, it is definitely Shim. He knows how to work the crowd at a live show. When you talk to him, he's just so full of just life. He brings me life. And
tell him what happened when you text him about coming on. What you forgot he lived in Australia? Is that what
yeah. Oh, yeah. So I'm texting him. I'm like, yo, do you want to come on the Good Life podcast? And he's like, yeah, tell me when and where. But I didn't hear from him for like 3 hours. I'm like, that's unusual. He's in Australia. He lives in Sydney, man. It was
what's
like
the time difference.
I don't know. Like it's already the next day there.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Yeah,
it's really early in the morning.
Yeah, so I text him way too early in the morning, but I was like, man, to be fair, I didn't even know. Sometimes you're in LA, sometimes you're in Sydney.
Dude, I'm not going to dive into too much, but it sounds like Shim's is going to be pretty exciting.
We'll be back after a quick break.
Up in the castle, evil mischief stirs.
Plan number 42. I shall turn myself into a cat and get adopted by the butcher's daughter so I can learn all her secrets. Then, I will use them to make her fall in love with me. What do you think, Wilson?
Hey, check out 1v1 Me DM on all podcast platforms to see more of Dracula's perfect plans at finding true love.
Yeah, I have a long history with Shim, like when he was in the band, and then when they broke up, he came on my show to talk about it for the first time. So, he's just got a lot to say, and he's doing something really, really cool, and he might just even drop some new music on your ear holes.
All right, when you said it, that's what I was talking about. I'll let you drop it, so there it is, man.
Yeah, I don't want to give too much away, but I just know that this is going to be super fun, and anytime we can chat with Shim, like, you'll just feel the energy and the passion that he has for music.
The Good Life podcast might be debuting some new Shim music?
You never know what to expect. One thing about the Good Life podcast is it's always full of surprises.
It is,
like
man.
Adam Ramey of Dropout King. Man, the Dropout Kings, dude, they bring it, don't they?
Dude, they are so crazy. I love those dudes, man. That remix of Unholy they do is like one of my favorites. Like I was jamming to it like all morning today already. Dude, they're so good. What else they do? Virus?
Yeah,
is that your favorite one?
Yeah, that's my favorite one. And they just dropped a new album, and they got a ton of like just stuff that just makes you go wild. And there's something about that energy. Yeah, they've been to Omaha lots.
No, like are they coming through in the future that you know about?
I don't think I can say it yet. Yeah, I don't think I can say it, but let's just say good things are going to happen, and there might be a concert that's coming soon that everybody's hyped for. Ooh. And who knows? Maybe Dropout Kings could be on that show.
Does this feel a lot like how it used to be like 3 or 4 years ago with what you're talking about a little bit here, man?
It's a lot of fun, and I love these bands, and to be able to talk to them again is a treat because I respect all these musicians and what they do, and it's just fun. I get excited about this stuff.
Dude, I'm halfway tempted, and you let me know what you think about this, to let people message us on some guests that are coming up, and if they have like questions they want to know. they can like DM us.
Yeah.
And if we have time, we can ask them questions for people.
Yeah, you can slide into our DMs. You can email us. You can do all the things. Any way you want to chat with us, you can hit me up. You can hit up David.
Yeah,
it is so easy. Yeah, we make it convenient for you. So
another big thing too, man, is well, I'll make a post about this tonight, man. Let us know who you guys want. Who do you guys want to hear us get? Give us challenges. Let us go out and get people that you guys want to hear about. That would be super fun too.
Yeah, we are super open to it, and there's a lot of female guests that I want to get on the show. That yeah, there's a lot that I want to get into, and I want to talk about some taboo topics, and I have just the right people for this. So we were at the podcast party last night, and you were unveiling it, and there were some women coming up, and they're like, "You guys should talk about getting Botox and lip fillers and how it's so taboo." And I'm like, I know the perfect person. I know the perfect person that could come on the podcast, who's also, by the way, a big metalhead and a big sports fan.
She is. She's both.
Yeah. She's everything. I mean, she's a nurse. She opened her own business. She's everything that could be a lot of fun on the podcast, and I'm excited for her to eventually come on.
Is this a hidden one that we're not announcing yet?
I mean,
it's up to you. We can leave the curtain down for now.
Yeah, it's my friend Rachel with Bear Body Shop.
Rachel Bear Body Shop, man. Yeah,
Rachel Bear Body Shop. She's been taking care of me for a long time. She might even judge your face if you want.
Let's let her do it, man. She's gonna be like, it's big and it looks kind of like the guy from Fall Out Boys, but I don't like it. And when I look at you, I don't.
You do look like Patrick Stump of Fall Out Boy.
So before I had the beard, remember when I used to have that weird long hair, and Emily was like, "You look like you have a skullet." You remember that?
Yeah, she's like, "I gotta cut David."
Dude, so I actually looked like Patrick Stump back then. We were at Varsity. And this was years ago, right after like Fall Out Boy. I think they were playing the Super Bowl or something. I can't remember, but or some college football game. And my buddy told everybody I was Patrick Stump, and I didn't know it. And people were like coming up to me asking for my autograph and stuff, and I was signing it David Taylor because at the time I was doing stand-up comedy.
This isn't Patrick.
And I was like, "Oh, dude, I'm blowing up, and I don't even know it." Signing, and people were like, "David Taylor, like, who is this?" Like they were walking away, thought they met Patrick Stump, dude. Yeah, so no,
just a prank, bro.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I posted a picture on there. Like Facebook had a challenge of post your celebrity lookalike or something, and I posted Patrick Stump, and even my grandma commented. She's like, "I love your new guitar," and I was like, "That's not me, dude. Like, it's not me,
Grandma."
So,
you love to hear it.
But yeah, man, I'm very excited about where this is gonna go, man.
Yeah, those are just some of the guests. There's gonna be a lot that's going to be coming, but I don't want to reveal too much right now. But the more you listen to the podcast, the more we'll sprinkle in some hints or maybe just drop a few names. But the next couple of months is going to look like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Building this has been insane. Getting to the point where we are now, there has been so many obstacles, dude. I mean, it's been, we would get a yes, and then something else would pop up, and it's like, all right, hold on, we can't do it yet. And I mean, it was I don't even know how many it was, but for you not even being a part of it, dude, I was so stressed for a month for how many obstacles we had to do, and you kept jumping over them. And what's the term?
We did. And the term is pogo sticks, bitch.
Pogo stick, that's the thing, man.
Pogo sticks, because everybody goes through obstacles, and that's kind of what makes life fun. You can see them as challenges, you can see them as obstacles, but don't get defeated. Keep going. Just imagine you jumping over these obstacles with pogo sticks, and it makes it a little bit fun.
And I think we're probably going to bring out a logo or T-shirts or something with the pogo sticks on it, man, because that's our new thing, man. And we both truly believed it was supposed to happen. It would happen. And the pogo sticks would keep jumping, and if the pogo sticks couldn't get over an obstacle, then this wasn't supposed to happen. But they cleared everything.
Right, and they keep going and going and going. Anytime a new obstacle comes in our way, then we just grab the pogo stick, bitch.
There it is, man. But yeah, no, seriously, huge thank you, man, to everybody who's been a part of this so far that you guys don't even know about, because it's all been behind the scenes so far, man. But thank you guys for allowing this to happen. I can't wait to show you guys what we're about to do with this thing. It's about to be insane.
Yeah, we're super grateful for everyone who's shown their support and been a part of this ride. And we're just warming up. Like, this is episode 1. Wait till you hear episode 2, 3, 4. I mean, right, we're starting from the bottom, and now we here. I like what's going on. You got a comfy chair over there? You got a comfy chair?
Yeah, man, I got a comfy chair. How's your chair, bro?
It's just the worst. I'm in a metal chair.
You look like about to be in the WWE and smack somebody upside the head with that chair, bro.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
Oh, no, man. But Oh my God. I had something real important I was going to say, dude. You brought up the chairs. I was like, I was there earlier. I know what you're sitting in, man. Oh my gosh. No, but everybody, seriously, the more you share this, the more you guys listen, the more you have people come in, the bigger this thing's going to get, man. And, we want to bring as much as we can to the table for everybody that's listening, man. So we're stoked that it seems like everybody's super excited about this, by the way. Which is super cool. I got hit up a ton last night. I'm sure. I didn't
I was
know
getting
what your
texts.
phone
People
looked
excited.
like.
Yeah, my phone was stupid. It was getting dumb. They're like, man, we're so happy for you. We can listen to you in the morning on Sweet 98.5, then 101.9 The Keg, and then at night on the podcast. So, yeah, there's a lot of outlets for you to come kick it. And this is an exciting thing that I'm doing with David Taylor, and I'm grateful for NRG Media to allow this to happen, and David for, getting me on board. And, I'm so excited to work with you. I think you can learn a lot from people. And the past couple of months just, talking about this whole thing, I can't believe how much I learned.
It's so much
and
fun,
I think you're a smart dude, and you got a lot of, man, who knew you were that tech savvy and had that much of an eye for detail with the visuals?
Yeah, dude.
Man.
Dude, those visuals last night were sweet. Oh, by the way, dude, we're going to have a professional video out here on our, all social media accounts here probably within the next week or two of the unveiling of Spicoli joining the show by a professional guy. Kenny Cheers did it for us. I got to see some of it today. It looks so stinking cool, man.
Can't wait, dude. He does some good work.
But yeah, man, just tune in. We'll probably, maybe next Sunday. I don't know. We'll see. Sunday after that, we're going to start dropping the hints on Facebook, the guests coming, when they're coming out. We're not going to hold on to them forever. So probably if we record them that day and we got time to mix them up, we're going to get them to you as quick as we can. So.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, getting this into your ear holes and spreading the word on the Good Life podcast. So make sure you let everyone know. You can follow us on Facebook, The Good Life.
Good Life Podcast, man. We'll talk to you guys soon.
All the way, we're gonna fly out and run it wild until the midnight.